Day 2 of the 30-day challenge, and I'm leaving my beautiful house with my beautiful yard to go to Bangkok for a day. But I promised that I wouldn't miss a day, so you are going to get a vlog style while I travel to BKK. So a major thing I want to talk about today is the state of being. And I say that as I get out of the car and I've had no sleep. Come in my car! And I'm getting in this long line to get to the airport. But I think it's so important nowadays to discuss this because no one does. And I really want to share with you something that I've learned that's definitely changing my life. State of being, right? I read this a lot in some psychology books that I have been researching lately, and also I think just doing some mushroom trips. Sorry, Mom. Yeah, I did some mushrooms, and I don't know. Like, there was a definite before and after of like, who do I want to be in the world this when you show up and everyone expects you to be a certain person or be a certain religion or be a woman versus be a man. Like, there's all these there's societal expectations, there's cultural expectations, there's familial expectations, there's community expectations, and the state of being is kind of separating yourself from all of that and like who do you want to be in the world and what does that mean? Like, how do you want to show up, right? I will tell you that most of my life, and I think most people's lives, they walk through their life thinking like, oh, they're actually honestly not thinking about it much, just kind of doing whatever is expected of them and just checking the next box and not really asking themselves like, do I even want to do this? Do I even want to be here? Like, that's a really good question to ask yourself. Side note, I just had someone come up to me and say, are you Brittnee Bond? I met you, blah, 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 and oh my god, it's so good to see you, blah, blah, blah. And I love it when people do that, so always do that. And also I got some coffee, so now I'm a little bit chatty. So the point is, you need to decide who you want to be
Ladies
in
and
the world,
gentlemen,
what person
please switch
you want
off
to
your
show up
mobile
as.
phone.
And once you do that, it all becomes so much easier. Become the person that you want to be? That is the ultimate question. I mean, this is something that I've been pondering for like a super long time, and I didn't really understand when people were talking about it. Like, how do you become the best version of yourself, or like, what does that even mean? So this is what I think it means. You have to raise your standard of who you want to be for yourself, and then that gets emanated out with the way they interact with other people. I really didn't understand how to do this for years and years. Like, I'd heard this concept so many times in different ways. There's a really good book called The Mastery of Love. I highly recommend it, and it talks about basically like, it says if you are in an abusive situation, like say you're in a romantic relationship and someone is abusing you, you somehow on a subconscious level feel like you are deserving of that abuse. And I was like, what does that mean? But then they give an example. They're like, if someone comes along and they treat you in a way that you feel like you don't deserve to be treated, you would basically be like, yo, what are you doing? Like, knock it off. But if someone treats you in a way that you feel like is acceptable, even on a subconscious level, then you'll tolerate it in your life. So if you reverse engineer that, if you decide like, I want to be treated this certain way, I want to have a job like this, I want to live in this country, I want to have this amount of money, or I want to be this person, you have to decide that first on a very conscious level. And let me tell you, most people are not very conscious about these things. then that kind of radiates out into everything that you are doing. A lot of people probably wonder where I'm at right now. I'm in the VIP lounge in the airport because I have VIP lounge access around the world. Yay to Chase Sapphire Reserve. You get free access to all those things. But I'll give you a couple examples of things that have resonated or that have happened in my personal life as a direct result of deciding that I wanted to be a better version of myself. So yesterday I spoke to my mom, and her and I have these painful loops that we go back and forth and do, where we kind of say the same things over to each other. We get upset, we talk about the past and things that have happened, and nothing really gets resolved. Well, I have chosen and done a lot of healing since I spoke to her. Last time I spoke to her was 4 years ago. So she kind of reverted back to that old loop of like, there's this major theme in our religion, where the religion I grew up in, Jehovah's Witness, where it's like we're all somehow broken or we're all imperfect, and we need God to save us, or we need to wait until the new system of things or paradise or whatever in order for all of these things to be fixed. So my mom went into that kind of rhetoric of like, honey, we're all broken in different ways, but Jehovah's going to save us. God's going to save us. And I said, I'm sorry, Mom, I need to interrupt you there. Like, I don't feel broken, and I don't feel like I'm feeling pretty healed these days, and I really like my life, and I really like who I am. And there was silence on the telephone, and she was like, oh, okay. And I was like, yeah, and I really would love for you to come out and enjoy this with me and like share in this new version of my reality with me, because it's pretty cool, and I really, really enjoy my life, and I want you to be part of that, And it just completely flipped our whole conversation, and it started being a lot more positive. And she was like talking about flights and visas. My mom was asking me about visas, how she could come out and stay longer. And it was literally a new track of our conversation loop was paved by just me saying, I will not accept this version of like, I'm broken and I have to feel broken in order for God to save me. I don't agree with any of that, and that's not who I am anymore. The second story is, I've been traveling most of this year. I've been to 12 countries this year, and I really, really wanted to come back to Chiang Mai and have a home. Like I want a long-term base. That was the thing I felt when I came back. I was like, not only do I want a home, I wanted very specific things. I wanted a house, I wanted something with a yard, and I wanted something with a balcony that overlooked the mountains so I could do yoga in the morning and do my meditation on my balcony. It's really hard to find all of those, and something that's centrally located. So it's really hard to find all of those things, especially within my budget that I wanted to spend. And I just was like, is this going to happen? Is this going to work? And then on top of that, this is also something that will happen in the universe, is you set this standard, and then there will be friction points. So there will be things that come to you and test you. And when those things happen, you know that you're on the right path. And this is actually a really good thing. So I had a very close friend of mine. She's going away and traveling for most of the next couple months. And she said, hey, I have my apartment, my condo. I would love for you to come stay for free. Just like watch over my condo for me. And it's centrally located. It's a studio apartment, so it's pretty small. I told myself I never wanted to live in a condo again when I'm in Chiang Mai, because to me that's my home, and I want to have a house where I can have people over and I can cook at home and all this stuff. So super appreciative that she offered that. Love you, Patty. But it was a test. It was like, am I gonna stay small and stay in this smaller place, or am I gonna keep looking for a house that I want and like something where I can stay long term? And I was just like, no, I want to be in a house. And so I put it out on some of the Facebook groups, and this Thai woman reached out to me. She doesn't even remember how she found me. And she said, I have a house. It's been empty. It's been kind of abandoned since February. And what's your budget? And I told her my budget, and it was like 20% below what she wanted to offer, what they had been renting the house for before. And she said, just come look at it. Let's see if we like each other and see if you want it. I went over there and I looked at it. I really loved it. And she lowered the rent by 20% and did a bunch of other things to make it possible for me to move in. And this is the house that we're in now. It's a 5-bedroom, 2-bathroom house with a huge yard with a balcony that overlooks Dositap Mountain. super centrally located. Everyone that comes over is like, how did you guys get this place? And we're like, we're not leaving. So that's going to be the place where I leave all my stuff. We'll rent it out when we're gone. But that's going to be my home base here in Chiang Mai. And then the last thing I'll share is I've raised my standards a lot of what I'll accept within my own business. And, I've been traveling a lot this year for Remote Collective. But I realized, I'm a marketing machine. I can market anything. I can sell anything. I help other companies make so much money. And I really want to focus that on my own company. So I decided that that's what I wanted in my life. I decided by the end of this year I wanted to tighten up my products that I offer and tighten up the things that I sell. And enters into my life this amazing business mentor who someone connected me with. And he's from the East Coast in the States. And he has his own successful marketing company. And him and his wife were in town in Chiang Mai, and he was like, I really want to meet up with you. And I wasn't meeting up with anyone. I was like locking down my schedule because I really feel like I've been so distracted by like busy work lately and throwing parties and doing all these really fun things and being like a socialite, which is awesome, but like that's not making me that much money that I feel like I deserve. Like my new standard is up here and I haven't reached that yet. I'm still down here. But this guy was like, I really want to meet with you. So I met with him, super, super nice guy. And he's like, I'm going to help you with your company. I want to do a business audit of your company. So I opened up my business to him and showed him everything, all the financials, all the paperwork, all the back end. And he went through and did this complete audit and was like, I want to work with you for 3 months, completely free. I want to take you on as like, I want to be your mentor and I want to help you get to this level because you're already impacting so many people in the world and I'm really excited to help you impact even more. And I was just like, oh my God, this is exactly what I need and I feel so grateful for it. And him and his wife are in town for a couple more days and we ended up meeting and like they came over to our new house and like hung out with us for like 3 hours. They met everyone in the house. He talked to me more about business stuff and we're going to do like a 3-month plan where he helps me build out all my back end. Runs all the numbers for me, makes it like a lot more professional on the product side so that I can compete with these bigger companies and be on the level that I know that I should be. So that's my new standard. I'm sharing all of these things to tell you guys that a lot of times for me, my running in the morning, my meditation, my journaling that I do in the morning, all before 8 a.m. if I can get myself out of bed, is the things that helps me to stay on that standard and on that higher vibration so that I can go out and be the person that I want to be in the world and attract all the people that I want, attract the person that I'm in love with, attract the house, attract everything that I want to in my life. And I want that for you. So day 2 of my 30-day challenge, I hope that all of you take this and run with it and be the person that you want to be in the world. Reporting live from Bangkok. Signing off. Bye guys.